Surah al-Ṣaffat. Surah number 37. In the name of God, the most gracious, the ever merciful. Angels who are ever present in rows bear witness, then those who sternly scold the devils, then those who remember God, that your God is one God. He who is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and all that is between them, and is the Lord of all the borders of the east and the west. Undoubtedly, we have decked your nearest sky with the adornment of stars, and have fully protected it from the interference of every rebellious devil. They are not able to hear anything from the upper realm, and if they do so, they are repelled from everywhere to ward them off, and this is an eternal torment for them. Yet if a devil is able to overhear something, a dazzling flame pursues him. Now ask them, is it more difficult to create them, or those whom we have created before them? In reality, we had created them from sticking clay. No, this is not the slightest difficult. In fact, you wonder that why do they not believe in such a clear fact, and are making fun regarding the kind of things you believe in. And when they are reminded, they do not pay heed, and when they see a sign, they make fun of it and say, nothing. This is plain magic. What? When we die and become clay and bones, will we be raised again? And our earlier forefathers too? Say, yes, and you shall also be humiliated. Thus it will only be a shout. Then right at that time they will get up and look about, and say, our misfortune. This is the day of reckoning. Yes, indeed, it is precisely that day of judgment which you people had been denying. It will be directed, gather these unjust people and their sorts as well, and they also which they have been worshipping besides God. Then show all of them the way to hell. And yes, keep them a while. Something has to be asked from them as well. What is the matter? You are not helping one another at this time. They are speechless. In fact, today they have become very obedient. At that time, they will focus their attention towards one another to mutually ask questions. Thus they will say to their leaders, it is you who would come to us from the right. They will interject and reply, no, in fact, you yourselves were not willing to believe, and we had no control over you. In fact, you yourselves were a rebellious people. So, the word of our Lord has been fulfilled on us. Undoubtedly, we have to taste its flavor. In reality, we had gone astray, so we led you astray as well. In this way, all of them will share the punishment on that day. Thus shall we deal with the wrongdoers. Such were they that when it was said to them that there is no deity except God, they would show arrogance, and like you, O people of the Quraysh, they too would say, should we leave our deities at the behest of a mad poet? Certainly not. In fact, he has come with the truth, and is in fulfillment of the prophecies of the messengers. If you do not believe in him, you shall certainly taste a painful punishment, and this shall not be any injustice. You shall be returned what you have been doing. However, the selected servants of God shall remain secure from it. It is these people for whom there shall be a known sustenance, fruits of all kinds. And in the orchards of delight they shall be in great honor, sitting on thrones facing each other. For them goblets of pure wine shall be passing around, absolutely crystal clear, of very pleasant taste for the drinkers. It shall neither intoxicate, nor shall make them lose their senses. For them shall be large-eyed women with lowered gazes, as if they are sheltered eggs of an ostrich. Then they will turn towards one another so that they may mutually converse. One of the speakers will say, I had a companion who used to ask me with great amazement, are you too one of those who attests to the day of judgment? What, when we die and become clay and bones, will we be called to reckoning? He will say, will you take a little peep to see where he is, and in what circumstances? After saying this, he will glance down, so he will see him in the middle of hell. Then he will spontaneously cry out, by God, you are after ruining me. If the favor of my Lord had not been with me, I too would have been among those who have come apprehended. Then has it not happened that the first death that had to come to us has come? Now we shall not die, nor shall we be punished. Indeed, This is what great success is. So to this success, those who strive should strive. Ask them, is this feast good, or the tree of Zakkum? We have made it a trial for these wrongdoers. It is a tree that grows at the bottom of hell. Its buds are like heads of devils. So these wrongdoers will eat from it and fill their bellies from it. Then on top of it, they will be given boiling water mixed in it. Then they will have to return to hell come what may. These are those people that they found their forefathers in error. Then they continued to run in their footsteps. Before them, most in previous generations had also gone astray in this manner. We had sent warners among them too. Then see the fate of those who had been warned. Only the chosen servants of God were protected from it. For this, Noah had pleaded to us the foremost. Then see how graciously do we hear pleadings. We saved him and his people from a great calamity, and in later times made only his progeny to survive, and we left a group among the earlier generations on his ways. Peace be to Noah among all the people of the world. Thus do we reward those who are thorough in their deeds. No doubt, he was from among our true believers. Then, after separating him and his followers, we drowned others. Certainly, Abraham too was from among his group. Recall when with an upright heart he came to the presence of his Lord, when he said to his father and to the people of his nation, "What is this that you worship? Do you desire false deities besides God? Then what do you think about the Lord of the worlds?" When people were about to depart from the place of worship where Abraham had spoken these words, he glanced at the stars to estimate the time. Then he said, "I am feeling tired." Thus they left him and went away. So Abraham furtively went over to their deities and said, "Why don't you people eat? What is the matter? You do not speak as well." After that, as soon as he saw an opportunity, he pounced upon them and struck them with a strong hand. As soon as people got this news, they ran towards him. Abraham said, "Do you worship what you invent? In reality, it is God who has created you, and they too which you make." They said, "If this is how he behaves, erect a building for him, then throw him in a raging fire." So they tried to play a trick with him, but we did not let them succeed. Abraham said, "Leaving you aside, now I shall go towards my Lord. He shall definitely guide me. Lord, grant me righteous children." As soon as Abraham prayed, in response we gave him glad tidings of a forbearing boy. That boy reached maturity. Then when he reached the age to work with him, Abraham said to him one day, "My son, since the past few days, I dreamed that I am slaughtering you. So reflect. What is your opinion?" He said, "Father, do as you are being directed. God willing, you will find me steadfast." Then when both of them submitted, and the father laid down his son on his forehead, and we called out to him, "Abraham, you have made your dream come true." Imagine how the sea of mercy must have stirred. In reality, this is how we reward those who are thorough in their deeds. Surely this was a clear trial. When Abraham was successful in it, we ransomed Ishmael against a grand sacrifice and gave Abraham such fame that we left a group among the earlier generations on his ways. Peace be to Abraham. Thus do we reward those who are thorough in their deeds. Undoubtedly, he was among our believing servants. It was at this instance that we gave him glad tidings of Isaac, a prophet from among the righteous, and we sent our blessings to both Ishmael and Isaac. Now there are those in their progeny who are thorough in their deeds, and also those who are openly unjust to their souls. In a similar way, we had sent our blessings to Moses and Aaron too, and had delivered them and their nation from a great calamity, and had helped them. So, ultimately, it was they who remained dominant, and we had given both of them a radiant book and had guided them to the straight path, and like Noah and Abraham, we had left a group from the earlier generations on their ways. Peace be to Moses and Aaron. Thus do we reward those who are thorough in their deeds. No doubt, both of them were also among our true believers. Similarly, Elias too was surely among our prophets. Recall when he said to his nation, "Do you have no fear? Do you call upon Baal and leave aside him, who is the best of creators. God, who is your Lord, and of your previous ancestors as well. Ultimately, they rejected him. So now they too will also surely come apprehended. God's chosen servants will however remain secure. We blessed Elias too, and left a group from the earlier generations on his ways. Peace be to the great Elias. Thus do we reward those who are thorough in their deeds. Surely he was from among our believing servants. And without a doubt, Lot too was among our messengers. Recall when we delivered him and all his family except an old woman, so that she was among those who remained behind. After that, we destroyed others. People of the Quraysh, you do pass by these settlements in the morning and in the night too. Then do you not use your intellect? Similarly, Jonah too was among the messengers. Recall when forsaking his nation, he ran towards the ship which had become packed with passengers. Then the ship was caught in a storm, and at their bidding he cast lots. Then it so happened that it fell upon him, and he was thrown into the sea. Then a fish swallowed him, and he had become blameworthy. So, if he had not become among those who glorify God, he would have remained in the belly of the fish until the day when people will be raised. However, he glorified God. Thereupon, we placed him in an open field, and at that time he was exhausted. We looked upon him with more favor, and made a climbing tree grow over him. And to those whom he was assigned, we sent him again to the same 100,000, in fact to even more. Then they accepted faith, so we gave them the respite to live until a period of time. If they still do not believe, ask them, are there daughters for your Lord and sons for them? Or have we made angels as women, and they were observing this at that time? Listen. In reality, they are only saying what they have fabricated themselves. God has given birth to children, and they are absolute liars. Has God preferred daughters to sons? What has come over you? What sort of a judgment do you make? Then do you not use your intellect? Or do you have a clear argument from the book of God? So bring your book if you are truthful. They have also made up a relation between God and the jinn. And the jinn know very well that if they show disobedience, they too will definitely come apprehended. God is exalted from the statements they make. Only the chosen servants of God shall remain secure from being seized by him. So, you and your deities, you can make only those obsessed with them who are to enter hell because of their misdeeds. They regard us to be daughters of God. Certainly not. Such is our matter that each one of us has a specified position, and as far as we are concerned, we only stand arrayed in rows in God's presence, and we are continuously busy in glorifying him. These people used to say, had the reminder of the earlier generations been with us, we would have been special servants of God. But when it came to them, they denied it. So soon they will know what its fate now will be. You are a messenger of God, and our verdict has already been delivered about servants who we send as messengers, that only they will be worthy of help. And certainly, only our army is destined to prevail. So ignore them a while and keep observing them. For soon they will also observe. Then are they asking to hasten our torment. So when it will land in their open space, very evil will be the mourning of those who were warned of it. So leave them and ignore them a while, and keep observing them. For soon they too will observe. Your Lord, endowed with honor, is exalted from all what they state, and peace be to his messengers, and gratitude is for God alone, Lord of the worlds.